Welcome to the Dead Son Show. We have meaningful conversations about life through the lens of fatherhood. It's for fathers, those with fathers, and the fatherless, so nobody's left out. These are the conversations we want our sons to access as they grow through life in the manhood, so no topics are off limits. I'm one of your hosts, D. Johns.
I'm your other host, Jay Black.
Jay Black, how you feeling, my brother?
What's up, baby? We back. We good. We running.
Accomplished.
Yes.
It is over.
Yeah.
It is over and it is starting, man.
Man, listen, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that because you know,
Yeah.
we both know the ramp up. For those that don't know, both of our sons just graduated high school.
Praise God.
This week. So it was great. A lot of family and loved ones around, and I truly enjoyed that, man, because his family, my family, his family. So it was like a big family reunion, man.
Yeah, man. And y'all had the show showing. The backyard transform.
Yeah.
My kid said, "Can we go over there?" I'm like, y'all got here. Like, can we go over there?
Yeah.
No, it was dope, man.
Yeah.
Dope seeing. I had some good conversations with the people over there too.
Yeah, man.
Good conversations, man. And then shout out to Adrian across the street. Shout out to Brian, another neighbor. It was four young black men.
Yep.
Graduating high school
On the same block.
on the up and up, like literally.
Yeah.
Not even a block.
Yeah. House to house.
Connect the dots with our houses, man. But like, share, and subscribe. And appreciate y'all patience. We've been off for about a week and a half because of this.
Yes.
There's been some other content going up. But you just finished up. So you
Listen,
still pushing at it.
I'm pushing at it, man. We just knocked off another 2 semesters, if you want to say. Wrapped up the spring semester at school. I did a quick little throwback Southern University Maymester. But I don't know what they call it now, but they accelerated. We do a whole semester course in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just knocked one of those off, took the final for that boy yesterday.
Yeah.
So we good, man. We listen, we pushing.
You cool for the rest of the summer? You going back?
The rest online. I'm doing a lot of traveling, sprinkled in here and there. So I have class in June and in July, but everything online. I couldn't, no obligation.
Bet. So we back at it, man. Today we just gonna let's just catch up, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have, as you say, for those who don't know, we got a bank of topics that as something hits our spirits, we put it in a shared file.
Yep.
And sometimes we sit down right before we take. Look at me, throwback. right before we record and we go through a topic, but I'm just, man, I just want to have a conversation to see where we're at as fathers, as men. There's a whole lot going on. We just gave a quick recap of what happened, but how do we actually, like, I don't even actually know if I process how I feel about, I'm happy that he graduated. It was like angst, graduated. And then he graduated. I'm like, man, now you're in that window.
You're in that window.
It could be a whole lot of pressure. And that's one part of the conversation I had with while my family was here, because it was my nuclear family. So my mom, my dad, and my sister, that's how I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's husband was here. And then, of course, my in-laws are here now. For those that might not know, they actually live in Texas. But all of us grew up. within 5. All of us are basically from the same cities, Hampton and Newport News back in Virginia.
Right.
So, it was good to see my parents. And kind of putting things in perspective, like, of course, you get a flashback to what it was like graduating in that period.
Yes.
And how the world was so different then that, it was, I would suggest it was less pressure on me at that time than it might be on my son. I gotta catch myself to make sure that I'm not the one putting that pressure. Where I was going with it, we had a conversation with my family was, that we're in agreement that we're not going to pressure him into any decisions that he's not comfortable with just because we think that might be the right thing to do.
Right.
Right. Of course, we're going to give information that we believe is accurate, but forcing or pressuring, which kind of forces your children into something that they're not ready for, is something I'm conscious of, because, and we hit it a couple of times on the platform, expectations.
Yes.
You're gonna go to school, get a job, work 40 years. We know that may not work
Right.
anymore, right? Parents today may not actually know what fields children should be going into with the introduction of AI and all these things like we talked about before. But now that he's in that window, it's a different kind of I won't even say stress,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, I feel like his clock is ticking and he don't know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because my son is not, he's not immediately going to college. He's looking at trade schools,
Right.
which I'm okay with.
Yes.
Because he may learn some things. Actually, that's the route that ended up working out for me, is going into a trade like field in ship construction. And then that opened my eyes to, okay, this is what real work is like. If there's another way, what does that look and feel like? So, you know, and he may stand the trade, but I guess let's just start with like how you, we had, was this day 4, day 5 since graduation? Day 5.
Yes.
Since graduation. Like, how do you actually feel about
it? It's just like you said, it's up and down. And I don't want to dump, again, piggybacking what you said, I don't want to dump my feelings, thoughts, and emotions on him, because we have 2 different personalities. So obviously our approaches are going to be different. Yep. Something I was very grateful for was the different levels of conversations and exposure that he had at the celebration. You know, every time I looked up, some different person had him off to the side talking to him. I didn't go bombard into the conversation. I wanted them to have that one-on-one time, because every person that he talked to, I know them. I know what they do. I know the exposure and level of expertise they have in different fields. And so I see them asking the real questions of, you're not going to get away with, you know, how kids do, man. I'm going to school, I'm going to be an engineer. What type of engineer? I don't know that yet. See, you're just throwing out words that you think are trigger words that sound good. Nope. They're actually helping him unpack. Is this really what you want to do? Like, is this the lane? So with that going on, I'm juggling and trying to be mindful of, you just graduated. Now they're in their enjoyment phase. I want them to, you know, appreciate your accomplishment. That's absolutely an accomplishment. However, don't get drunk off this Kool-Aid, man. It's time to get to it though. Yeah. Like, celebrate, feel good about it, but keep your eye on the prize, man, and move forward. Like, we're dropping him July 5th. It's go time. Yep. He reports to campus July 5th. And from there, we don't get him back home. You know what I mean? Like another break. That's it. Once he's there, and at the end of him doing that, we move him into his next dorm on that same campus. Boom. And it's go time. Yeah. School starts 2 days later. So once we have until July the 5th. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know,
the month of June, pretty much.
Wife and go mode with, I got to enjoy my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. So to sum that up, it's a whirlwind of emotion, because our lives are about to change. Yeah. He's about to be gone. I don't know how that's going to affect his little brothers. I think I'm going to have to get a gurney or a stretcher or something to bring his mom back home once we drop that boy off at school and she leaving her firstborn on that campus. I don't know how that's going to work for her, man. I really don't.
So this is your first going off. So I've had I've had the separation anxiety with my second, because Honor, my oldest, she went to school locally initially, and now she's doing hair, and you know, all my kids are figuring their life out, and I'm okay with that, because they're not showing any signs of sitting doing nothing, you know, not having any expectations of themselves, any goals for themselves.
Right.
So it's interesting to see how they work out. But with Imani, who I've jokingly, seriously said is the most one of the most mature person. I think I'm getting some traction there. I'd had a good week. I've been real mature this week. But I jokingly say that she's the most mature person in the house. I knew she was prepared, but I wasn't ready. And we always had them ready versus prepared conversations, man.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Is he prepared, and are y'all ready?
That I'm supposed to say yes. You know what I mean?
Can't answer.
I think so. I think he is. Again, for how I'm made, he's a bit more laid back about it than I would expect. Like he's not a rah-rah guy.
Yeah.
Like
No.
this is the calmest, coolest cucumber I've ever met in my life. Man.
Side note, I was like, boy, do you realize you graduated? I spoke to him at the time. I was like, you graduated, right? This
Big
celebration.
Big chillin'.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that's concerning because I'm like, man, when you hit that campus, you have to insert yourself.
Yeah.
Like let's go. Like you gotta go and kind of put your stamp on some things. Whatever that looks like for you though. Don't try to do it on my level because you're not gonna know how to follow that up.
Yeah.
That's different. So now I just don't know, man. I need to sit and think about that because I just don't know if like us as parents,
yeah,
all of the other stuff that come with that, like he's gone to a whole nother state, hours away. Now there's family down there that can get to him quickly. However, at the end of the day, our everyday lives are about to change as we know it. You know what I mean? We can't just, get the boy to do it. Get the boy to go grab them. Get the boy to cover that what the boy needs. So now the parenting of, you good?
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to have to get through that phase of not running him in the ground with, what you doing? You good? What's going on down there, my boy? We'll be down there this weekend, man. Just check on things. Got to fight that urge because I know my wife going to be on that real tough.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Imani was gone too far for that. It wasn't a hop in the car situation.
Yeah.
And we had family in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Family that I was familiar with growing up, but we weren't necessarily, my kids weren't necessarily around them all the time. So it was somebody we can call on that we trust and we appreciate, but it wasn't like they already had that rapport. So they developed it, her first semester there, they showed up and she needed to go to the store and things like that. But just having, I guess it may be different with the girl than than I would expect with my daughter than I expect with my son. But just safety, man, that was my major concern because she went to an HBCU, and this is not an indictment on HBCUs,
right?
But there can be a level of, let me take the HBCU out of it. Every school has a party culture.
Yes. And
I was concerned with the fact that she didn't party at all in high school. Like she had no, she was 18 before she graduated. She had no desire. I'm like, man, she's going to go down there and lose all of her mind.
Right.
I went 20 miles from my house to college.
Lost it.
Mine left on the bridge.
Yeah.
Mine in the water, on the bridge between the house and there. So it was, she maintained, she increased my confidence in what's possible because she didn't fall into that culture.
Yeah. She
maintained the 4.0 and she kept focused on what was serious.
Right.
And she came to the conclusion that like the value is not here for what it's costing everybody.
Yes.
So that was that. And she came back home. And even coming back home, she's a different person. So that I'm going to be watching with my popcorn a year from now.
My boy a party rat.
I'm talking about you. How it's going to change you when he come back and he a man. That we're gonna have to do a special on that because it's you even if you're not picking up, even if it's not the party habits, that independence, you're forced into adulthood.
Yes.
So seeing you with adult children in your house is gonna be special. It's gonna be special.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how this thing gonna go. It can go left, it can go right.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm here for whichever.
I don't know where my kids are. And it was almost annoying. Well, I shouldn't say annoying because they were asking legitimate questions. But my parents were here. They were like, "Is so and so home?"
I wouldn't know.
I don't. Is the car outside? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know where they at.
Yeah.
Do you know where your family is? And that one kind of taught me a little bit. But I'm like, y'all had no idea where I was. No matter which, I'm talking at 16.
No matter what I told you.
Yeah, at 16.
Yeah.
Because by the time I got my license, I would say 6 months into having my license, I was just in the habit of leaving the house.
Right.
And if nobody was there when I left, who am I tell where I'm going?
Right.
There weren't no cell phones or nothing that I had back then. It was, I'm not here. I know I'm gonna be back, and y'all just counted on me coming back.
My first stop was where I told you I was going.
True.
I just didn't stay there.
Yeah. But and that's what I got to catch my oldest do that, and she good for that.
Yeah.
I got to go to the store. I'll be right back. On the next day. On the next day.
I did go to the store.
It's crazy, man. What are you excited for him about this next phase?
Opportunity, man. I really want to. I'm anxious to see, like what you're gonna do with this thing.
Yeah.
You so laid back. I want to see if you're gonna keep that temperament. I want to see if life gonna turn you up a little bit. Like how you gonna function when mom or we not just dumping bread in your account. And it's like, hey man, my money getting a little. What you doing?
I'm out of meals. You ate 8 a day.
You say you got them noodles in there, because I can't rob you of your college experience.
Yeah,
you're not eating good on us, man. Get that college life. Got some food. You got a meal plan. If you lollygag around with your little partners, and now you missed the time to go eat,
yeah,
and y'all got to scuffle up a way to go get you something to eat. I don't want to rob you of that, man. That's what build that character.
Yeah. And the value meal is $17.99 now.
Right now. Right now at Subway.
$5 I could eat.
Right now. The trick though is, will my wife now turn off that Life 360 on that boy? That's it. That's a grown man. You can't, I'm not turning it off, especially now that he's in a whole nother city and state.
Yeah.
He's going to LSU, for those that don't know, but he's going down to Baton Rouge to LSU. So there's family there. Her hometown's New Orleans. So family can get to him in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Relatives, cousins over at Southern, which is in the same city, the Southern University, that drag Grambling every year for the Bayou Classic. But right across the bridge, so there's family there,
yeah, but
she's not there. And I know I keep pointing back to her.
Yeah.
I just feel like,
baby.
And it might, and I'm defaulting, it might affect me a way that I'm not aware of right now. Like,
be surprised.
My son gone, man. I miss my boy, man. I'm gonna go down there or something. I don't know that yet.
You'd be surprised, because though my son is not leaving. Mm-hmm. Like we were talking before we hopped on air, before we started recording. He's got to turn off that school mode. Yeah. Like parenting school mode for him. He's like, hey, can I go hang out with my friends? And my first thing I'm thinking about, don't you got, I know you got something. You got a paper. I know you got, no.
Right.
In as much as I claim to have been turning it off while he was in school to force him to do these things, now we're going to start to see if this really worked.
Yeah.
I think I said last time, I'm in an experiment with my son. Mm-hmm. Not at his expense, but just trying to find a way to parent him that makes him, doesn't rob him of life, but also prepares him for the same.
Right.
So sometimes I look at him and it's an application that he's been working on for a couple of days. But
slow and steady, guys. I got to make sure this thing right.
But also, he just graduated.
Yeah.
I had my whole summer after I graduated.
Yeah.
And I told her. The other thing is, what he gonna do with the money? Because I know he got, there was a good day for him.
Hey.
It was a really good day for him.
Yeah.
And
hey.
They tell you the grandparents they have are not the parents that I had.
No, listen, never are.
Yeah. So that, when they become adults, their concern is less about do they have an iPad or whatever game system.
Yeah.
That boy got a card. He got a bank card. We gonna set him up.
Here we go. You're finna equip him is what you're about to do.
That might be a double entendre. You gonna set him up, and he gonna be set up.
He needs you.
He gonna be set up.
He needs you.
It's the other piece of it that I'm struggling with is the life that he sees me with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what he assumes. We probably gotta have way more conversations about where I am and where this journey has led me. Because I know he doesn't see, he sees the production stuff, but he doesn't know all of the work that actually goes into it. So I think there's a gap in his understanding of what it takes to think about something and to have something happen.
Yes.
So I'm actually, I think trade school would be good for him because it's going to be a very intense, very kind of rule or process driven thing for him.
Right.
He wants to be an electrician. Mess around if you want to. Mess around if you want to, but
yeah.
I think he needs like before the last episode. I think I was talking about the military, but he needs that type of intense, concentrated focus, and he needs to appreciate the results for him.
Right.
Not because I have to go to school because the law says I have to go to school, or like that kind of thing.
Right. Right.
So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with that. Another thing that I've been paying attention to is his friend circle.
Yes.
I really don't have no concerns about the friends that he's chosen.
Same.
And
yeah,
not that they won't find. I don't even want to put that on them. But like I had a good friend circle where we found what we found.
Right.
Like
right.
Yeah. Thank God we weren't on TikTok and IG and all.
Listen,
back then.
Life will be different right now. Ooh. I promise you.
Ooh, but just from, like, I went and picked him up from the prom, which is a whole. And we haven't talked. I think we were leading up to it.
Because I don't know anything about the prom. That's how.
I don't.
It was a covert operation, and we could touch on that briefly in a little bit because this generation is different.
Yeah.
But the more and more parents I keep talking to,
yes,
it's across the board.
Yeah.
This whole generation weird to us.
To us.
That's the disclaimer.
Yeah.
They're weird to us. We were trying to go scoop my date and we run into this prom. We're going to show our face then.
Pure.
Yeah. So
however that go.
Go party. Go.
However that go.
Whatever they do. Yeah. This generation, man, they all meet up.
Yeah.
At one spot and do a send off. Take pictures with their date. Chunk each other to deuce.
Yeah.
The girls go jump in cars together and the guys go jump in cars together and ride out.
See when I get there.
They show face at the prom for a few minutes or what have you, and then they start party hopping.
Yeah.
That's not a date at all, man.
No.
Like what? Good. That works. That works out for some of the mistakes or choices that could be possibly made or not. Because y'all party hopping. I don't know that. But it's definitely a different dynamic, right? Yeah. So I didn't get any feedback about. Now she told me because she saw on the Life 360 thing, she saw how they were spot hopping. So she talked to them about it, and they were just saying how a lot of people had parties.
Yeah.
So not to jump all over the place, to go back to a statement you made that stood out to me about them seeing our lifestyles, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Looking at our layout. And it's like, hey, the understanding of you're not going to come out in year 1, year 2 and just escalate up to what you see, what's your life, actually, your norm, to look at it from that angle.
You can't afford you.
You can't afford you, and you will not be able to afford you in the next 3 to 5 years. You still so humble yourself and put yourself in a position to build. Let that be your driving force, man. I'm trying to get back to me.
Yeah.
If you want to put that on a little shirt or something or somewhere, I'm trying to get back to me. That lifestyle was afforded to you.
Yeah.
Now you got to build what your lifestyle is going to look like. So now we're having conversations about the importance of time as wealth. Don't get wrapped up in chasing money so much that you're a slave to the clock. You look up and now just think about it. A lot of people like, man, I'm gonna jump in entrepreneurship. Well, not to condemn the donut industry, but those people are, in my opinion, they slaves to the machine, man. Like you have to go to bed at 5 p.m. so that you can be up at 2 a.m. to go start the next batch of the day.
Yeah.
So now from 2 a.m. to 11 a.m., that's your day. And now you crash out right quick, take care of life's business so you can be asleep for perhaps 4 or 5 p.m. to start the day again. In my opinion, that's not the life for me.
Yeah.
So trying to explain, I gave him that analogy. So don't get caught up in, I got to chase bread, I got to chase money, I got to do this. But then you're wondering why you can never go anywhere, or you're missing out on things, or you're missing out on life.
Yep.
You're missing out on family. You're missing out on friends or timestamp moments. You know, if we call like, hey, man, this going on, all the families coming to town, what you got going, and you're tied up, don't misconstrue that, though. You have dues to pay.
Yeah.
Like, don't walk, don't walk your way into the first years of your life out of college or during college with an expectancy.
Yeah. Yep.
Going to these people, good job, as the old people would say, and telling them what you're not going to do. Because
I'm going to be off next week.
I don't work weekends.
Stay off,
hey, yeah, brother. Hey, whoa, buddy.
Next week, take 4.
Yeah. So just trying to make sure that he understands. Don't get caught up on looking around in your environment. Use it.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I know what this looks like. I know what this feels like. This is my driving force. I'm shooting for that. Shoot for it.
Yeah. But
don't have an expectancy like somebody's going to hand that to you.
I need a little bit more energy. And I keep saying the whole point of this conversation is to identify, to highlight that this is their life.
Yes. Yes.
So that's one of the things that's coming to mind for me is that they're going to have to make their own mistakes. The only thing I asked my son was, son, please make new mistakes.
Yeah, not the same.
Got a plethora.
Yeah.
Got a plethora. A lot of them are on video. A whole library on YouTube. If you didn't catch it coming from me directly, whole library of them.
I promise.
I don't want to have conversations about the common mistakes that we made.
No, please no.
For lack of conversation.
Please no.
Yeah, I'm sure I haven't told him everything, but there's so when my parents came, they got this thing where they keep finding stuff that belongs to us that was in their house. Not that I was keeping it there as storage, but we don't necessarily need it. Like we haven't seen it in 8 years. Chances are, and my mom is good for it, sending a picture, asking a question. This y'all's? I'm like, no. Keisha, yep, that's my this and that from back when. So this time they show up with a mini bat, a Louisville Slugger.
Yeah.
And as I'm talking about, they were asking whose bat it was. I said, that's mine. I said, I used to keep it in my car. They said, for what? I said, ooh. Down and out we go. So I said, I used to keep it in my car for protection. I used to keep it like on the floorboard.
Right.
And we went into the story about the night we got shot. My car got shot up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was Imani, my second oldest, Eden, my youngest daughter, who's 11, who thinks she's 31.
Yeah.
Guess the bat really didn't help with guns, huh? No, it actually didn't.
No.
Now the gun saved them. The one guy with the gun saved them because it was anyhow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I realized in that, because all the kids everybody was in the room.
Oh yeah.
Like I had a conversation with Donovan on camera, and the other ones they might have heard about it. But I had to be mindful of what I'm presenting as my story and not celebrating it.
The glory.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, no. This was absolutely foolish.
Yes.
I'm glad that none of y'all feel like y'all need to be in that kind of situation. Because these boys around here, crazy.
It's different.
They getting crazy. I ain't gonna call them out their name or nothing, but it's a couple sections that's I don't know what DIW got going, who they competing with. But they got to be in second place, if not first, for the activity. And this is not celebrating it by any stretch. But
no.
It's wild, which leads me to another point where I was talking about his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your son can recognize danger?
I hope so. And I honestly do not know.
Yeah.
I've had conversations, but it's all hypothetical. You know, I've talked to him. I've shared my bumble brain moments.
Yeah.
And he always kind of looks at me like, why would you do that? Thank you. You're right. Don't ever get off that. Why would you do that? You're right. I should not have. So he has not been in an environment where danger was prevalent or all around. It could be debated. Is that, did I do you a disservice or did I do my job of protection? I would err to the second. Like, that's my job. I should not, if it's within my control and my power to shield my family from danger or a dangerous environment, I should. Certainly there's conversations about it. I took him to the shooting range recently, as a matter of fact. Me and his parent, his godfather. Parent is a Southern Louisiana word for godfather.
I was going to ask after.
Yeah, Southern University. Well, look at that. Southern Louisiana term in the South, your godfather, they'll call it your parent. So me, him, and his parent went to the range and had different versions of different things for him to experience. One, not be shocked or scared or fearful or frightful. Two, learn to protect yourself, learn to protect your family and your surroundings. But also, the biggest issue is the ignorance associated with not knowing safety. You know what I mean? Like, we've both been to the military. I've been to the military. His parents been to the military. So if I show you the safety of this and how to use this as a tool, it's dangerous. But the person whose hand that it's in, there lies the true danger. Yeah. The lack of their awareness or understanding of what, and we go.
Yeah. Just the care.
Absolutely. So he's been exposed to situations of, hey, in this moment, think like this, move like this. This is what you should look for. This is how you should think, in my opinion. Yeah. Scenario, but again, that's all hypothetical because you've never really faced it. Yeah. I hope you never do. I hope you never need it. I hope you never need a weapon. I hope nobody ever plays with you like that. However, should that present itself, I need you, at least I have an awareness of, you can get them off you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So can he look at a situation and be like, this finna go bad? Yeah. I don't know that because not one time has he shared a story or an instance with me in his high school years, or certainly not prior. But, you know, high school is that last run before life. Like, man, we were over there, boys just broke out fighting, man, everywhere. Just haven't gotten any of those stories. So I don't know if he can spot it coming. Like, he see the tension in the room or the mood of the room changing. And it's like, are you going to walk to the danger or are you going to get your people with the, hey, it's time for us to move around, big dog?
Yeah. So you got your gun back?
Yeah. Yeah. I did, man. Listen, update. I saw what you did. Bumble brain moment. And one of my weapons got confiscated. January of that year. Was that 24?
Had to be.
January of 24, January 9th of 2024. One of my weapons got confiscated by my own ignorance. Nothing reckless. That's a lie. Yes, it was. I got to tell the story now because now I sound like a... I'm going to the airport. Me and my wife headed to fly out on business. And I had a backpack, my carry-on, had a weapon in it. Forgot it was in there. Went through the scanner. They saw it. The gates came crashing down everywhere. The people ran over to me. Very cool, though. They laid back and receptive. I was shocked because I'm thinking, I'm going to the chicken wing, man. They finna do me something. So they come over, they pull everything out, break it down, look at it. They're like, hey, man, it's good. Don't worry about it. This happens here. I was like, oh, Texas. Yeah. So fast forward, that's January. I did not get my weapon back until October. Because there's a process. Yeah. Like you have to, they have to do a background check, clear, clean. Then they have to run it through to see if they want to look at the background on you, look at the details. Came back clear and clean. So now they decide, hey, if we take something like this to trial, there's nothing here. Yeah. No criminal intent. So they threw everything out. No charges. I had to pay a hefty fine to the FAA. My God.
Fundraiser.
that bread. So that's cool though. My mistake. So now the process, there's another 60 days after that of paperwork on their end for them to release the weapon to you. So when I finally get my weapon released to me like October, I said, hey, what are bullets? well, where's all my ammo, man?
Sir, please.
They were like, hey, listen, we never give the weapon and the ammo back at the same time. You got to come back in 3 days. Like there's a 3-day window. Then you come back and get the ammo. If you don't come back and get it, we destroy it. My wife like, you're not going back and get that ammo, are you? Who you talking to? Was it mine? I'm going to get my ammo, man. But anyway, not glorifying that thing. Yeah. However, I am, because the city that he's going to, Baton Rouge, no shade on Baton Rouge, but Baton Rouge is a little different from the environment that this young man has been raised in. You understand? Like there's parts of every city. Dallas.
That's Boosie from Baton Rouge? Boosie from Baton Rouge?
Yes. Gates.
Yeah.
Boosie, them, they, you know, and it's not hard to run into these areas in Baton Rouge is the point. Like here in Dallas, Fort Worth, you have to almost intentionally go to certain parts of town.
Stop 6.
Baton Rouge, you can be headed to the store and run into an area of, I think everything just changed, don't it? Like a street or two. So again, that's not to condemn the city or say that the city is a detriment. No shade, but it's a character builder. You understand? So he'll definitely be a more versed young man when he come home out of this ride here.
Yeah. When I went to get him from the prom, because it's like you, they all met up.
Yeah.
And went to the prom and then talked to whoever they talked to. But that was the first time I actually heard my son being comfortable in his environment with his friends.
Man.
And I let some things go. I ain't gonna front. I had some things that I probably shouldn't have let go.
Come on. But, what we got?
You know.
It can't go on camera?
Yeah, I mean, just like he didn't get down that path, but I know he was looking at me like, how am I gonna react? And I was trying to I was dancing.
Yeah.
Like being letting them have a cool experience. They just came from the prom. None of them was drinking nothing like that.
Right.
But they was cussing. And I'm like, man. Number one, I want to make sure I didn't cuss in my response.
Yeah.
Man, but they won't about nothing serious. But they started talking about some guy. And it was like, they lingo is, whatever. Chill, bro. We ain't doing that tonight. I'm like, I wasn't even nervous about what they were saying because I'm like the cast of characters.
The cast of characters, man. I ain't like, gonna trip.
Y'all, at most, y'all gonna have a yelling match with somebody. Bro, if we see him, we ain't gonna do nothing tonight.
Cause it could go bad. They trying to tell
my God.
They trying to tell you this thing could go bad. And we just talked ourselves off that old cliff, buddy.
My God.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to believe that anybody actually had had it in them. Had it in them, but you know, and again, like I said before, I don't want my son to have no stories. I ain't looking for him to be, but this is story time.
You think he gonna tell you? You think that's the key. When the stories start happening, do you think he gonna be like, let me hit you with something? What you think about that?
Naively, I do.
You think he gonna hit you with it?
Me or his mama, either way, it's gonna get
somebody gonna get it.
Yeah, because he can't. He don't say he can't. He doesn't hold. If he got a chance, he got to talk through it.
Yeah,
he got to talk through it. So you know, those things play out in my head all the time.
Okay,
with can I go out? And I don't really be asking him for an itinerary. He's like, we're gonna go here. I said, yeah. I mean, I don't stop him from telling me, but he's like, can I go hang out with my friends? I'm at when? At like 4:00. Cool. So we're gonna go to
too much.
Like, bro,
because you know that's gone. even the asking now, that's gone.
Yeah.
It's a, hey, I'm getting ready to, I got this going on today. Just making y'all aware I'm not going to be here. Hey, man, I appreciate you doing that part.
He's still 17.
That's different.
He about 7 more weeks.
See,
More
not
weeks
yet.
before you look me in my eye, tell me what's happening.
What you doing, right? Yeah.
It's still that.
Yeah.
You mind if I go?
I forgot.
You still now. The 2 oldest ones.
Yeah.
I guess Imani was the biggest. Change for me because she really acts like an adult. She ain't called me by my first name or nothing. Like
No.
She ain't started nothing.
Certainly a woman. That's a young woman.
About 8 years. She might not be calling me father no more. But she be like, I'm going to so and so. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm like, all right.
That's an adjustment. I don't know. You're grown, but I don't know. You just gonna tell me that?
But again, her friend circle too. Like
right.
Because we had the house where the people, everybody coming over here before they go somewhere, like they would show up and it's the same circle. And I know people changing it. Like I know everybody gonna make their mistakes and have their moment. But I would be a lot more concerned if they weren't bringing people around. And I think that's the difference that I see the lens through because at 19, I was out the house. So I was.
Right. Same. I was gone.
This is what I'm doing.
I was gone.
Call me, I might be in Jersey, I might be in Maryland. Like, it won't no coordination with that. So it was an adjustment when she's saying, I'm doing so-and-so. And again, it's not like I'm going to the club. It's like I'm going to so-and-so house. We all, we all gonna chill over there.
Boy.
And it's but with my son, I start playing things through my lens of, oh, don't let this.
Listen,
please, no more grandchildren.
Our next episode, I'm foreshadowing right now. Next episode, double standard king.
Absolutely.
Double standard king.
Absolutely.
Because I sit on the throne.
Well, it was instilled in me. Like, I tell you,
I'm the double standard king, buddy.
My sister felt some kind of way about it, but
it's coming.
And that's the thing. He knows all them stories,
right?
So that's one thing I was about. Prom night was the first night in ever that he came home at when he came home.
Yeah.
And I let him rock. Because I went and picked them up. They got back over here at 11 talking about they was going to go out to eat. Like, I already know how this go.
Yeah.
Like, number one, they was talking about like Grand Prairie shutting down. Like, it ain't.
Over with.
So y'all going to scoot over to somewhere to do something. And I woke up, I prayed over. I mean, got to keep them safe. But it's that, when that freedom, I don't think that freedom has set in for him.
Not yet.
Because it was just that one night.
Yes.
I think when he turned 18, I think a switch is gonna flip for him. Where he think that it's. But what can I say? Because my curfew was 2:30 at 16, with a car.
It's on.
And it was never discussed. That's the other thing. It was never actually discussed. I told the story, like I started, like the skating rink was 16 and up, and it was 10 to 2. I just need 30 minutes to get home after the skating rink closed.
Yeah.
Not that I went to the skating rink. Not that I went to the skating
I didn't say that's where I was.
The one time I did go. The couple times I did go.
Yeah.
Now this is the standard. The standard. So, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about him running into, somebody a little faster than him. That's gonna compromise his decision making.
Yeah, because I doubled down. I reiterated the conversation. We've had conversations.
Yeah.
But prom night, I hit him with the, hey man, listen.
Say the one.
One day, change everything. Get out here and get loose.
10 minutes.
And as my boy Travis would say, get out here spilling your baby batter out the bowl.
The baby batter's alive.
So now
it's alive.
You just altered the whole plans. Yeah. Plans must shift now.
Yeah.
So
on a dime.
You know, my son looked me in my face and hit me with as he walked out the door. We talked about this, but I ain't even on all that. And walked out the door. Hey. But did you hear what I said? Yes, sir.
Cool.
That's all. You'll never say you didn't hear it. I don't care if you heard it 50 times.
Yeah.
You will not say you did not hear it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do all right, man.
Yeah.
It's the I think as parents in general, it's the pain that you know is inevitable.
Yes.
That you can't, that if you block it, it robs them. You just hope they pick the lesser versions of.
Because you got to go get it.
Lesser versions of the pain, man.
You got to go get it.
I think we had time, bro.
Yeah.
I think we're good, man. I haven't done this in a while. Dear son, 20 life prompts to facilitate effective parenting is available. Hard copy.
You see it.
Link below. Let's shout out my guy too. Nate Flowers from Forgotten Fields. This don't going crazy. He doing this thing on IG with it.
Yeah.
My wife's book I don't have handy, but if you're watching, there's an overlay. If you're listening, Chocolate Princess Volume 1, children's book written geared toward young women of color, suitable for your scholars 5 to 15, is available in the link as well. And you know, talk to your kids, man. Talk to your kids. Figure out. Don't live through the world of assumption like I have so many times about what is happening. Sometimes you can overthink. I'm king overthinking, so I'm, you know, this double standard conversation gonna be easy.
Yeah,
definitely gonna be easy. And my Donovan wants to come back on. He was like, we should do one after graduation. So
yeah,
if be open to it, we can figure that out.
He with it. He with it.
We got a few weeks to figure it out for you. Be off and out. It'd be interesting to get their take on it. And Donovan, I'm interested to see if Bia do it. Like how freely he'll speak.
Me too.
Donovan, he's had a couple runs and a couple times. Well, actually, early on he was saying stuff, and I was like, I didn't know you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it'd be interesting.
I'm gonna have to see that.
Yeah, so people can see the fruit.
Right.
We just on here all talk.
Right. I'm with it.
We got some people grading us, man. What you got in closing, bro?
Just stay focused. Be intentional. Let them bump their head a little bit. You know, stop coddling. Like that's. I bring that up because I've had that conversation with a few people here recently about they nervous because we know a lot of friends who their kids, their sons and daughters just graduated this year, and everybody's handling it differently. Yeah. And some people are like, no. Let them go. Yeah, let them go. You did a good job. You got them this far. Let them go. Yeah. Let's see how it turned out. Experiment is in progress. That's going to do it for this episode. We appreciate you guys. God bless you.